Hello friends, greetings. Welcome to How to Learn channel. Today in this video, we are going to see a small Linux tutorial maybe. Actually, I really didn't think about this, but I really hit with a situation like this in my work. So I really need to see what happens with that particular operation, what I attempted in my official work and how to work around that situation. So I needed a lab so to really see what would happen and how to work around the problem. So the situation I was working on laying out a new file system format for Oracle binaries. See, for instance, currently I have it under U01 product and some Oracle 1900 Debian home underscore one. Now I wanted to move this to U01 app Oracle product. I don't really want to do a move command or anything. I wanted to do a fresh installation. But this U01 product Oracle, right, that's sitting on top of a dedicated mount point. U01 product Oracle is a dedicated mount point, but that U01 mount point is not a mount point, it is a directory on the root. But now in my case, I wanted to create a directory called U01 and allocate storage to it, and I wanted to install the binaries there. This is where the problem happened. I properly unmounted U01 product Oracle, and then I allocated a new storage and created U01 mount point, and then mounted U01 first and then mounted U01 product Oracle. Here is where the confusion happened. The Oracle inventory doesn't store on the base directory. It stores one level below. So if you have U01 product Oracle, if that is your base directory, then the Aura inventory gets stored in U01 product. U01 product Aura inventory, that will be your location. So I lost my Aura inventory. As soon as I mount U01, I lose the content of the U01 directory, the root directory, because you mounted a new file system and the content of that file system will be revealed to you, not the old directory information or directory content. So how do we come out of that particular situation? What really happens behind the scene? That is what we are going to see in this tutorial today. If you are not able to follow what I told you until now, stay tuned. We are going to see what happens now. Okay. So that's why I say a wrong FS mount and a data loss. How to come out of this particular situation. Again, welcome to How to Learn channel. This is DB Valence Stream. Alright. So if I show you, alright, so losing a directory by incorrect mount procedure. So learning target, what should we do in such situations? Don't panic. Nothing went wrong. You can really come out of the situation unless that file is actively used by your database. Okay. Like database file system. That can cause a data loss. But all other static files like Aura inventory, they don't get change all the time. Only when you do a patch installation, deinstallation, those times only the Aura inventory gets changed. And whenever you pull OPatch ls inventory, it just stores information about that you pulled a OPatch ls inventory. It stores a log for it, but it doesn't change all the time. Okay. So if you unmount the new FS, will we get our old FS back? The one we really mounted it. That's the quickest way, right? You need to roll back. If you roll back, will you get your old file system back? That's what we are going to see. So to do that, we have to set up a test. So I have my VM. I allocated a storage for this particular test scenario, just 1 GB of storage. And then I gone through the procedure I'm going to show you now. So first step, create a directory called test. Okay, so I already finished it. So I'm just going to walk you through what did I do real quick. So you can follow through my screen. Alright, if you see here, alright, so here is the first step I did. I created a directory called test and I went inside the test directory and I created a subdirectory called test sub and I touched a file called test file. So you can see here I am inside test directory in the root and I went inside test sub and I created a file called test file. So this is where I am and I have a file called test file. So this is what I explained my first step. Create test directory, ensure it is under root, create a subdirectory test sub and then touch a file. So I show you all this and touch a file. To really see if you're losing the content or not, I touched a file called test file, but I don't have any content here. It's a 0 bytes file, you can see. So it was a 0 bytes file. I just touched it. Alright. So next is, and you can see that dffnth test is mounted on slash, which is root. Next, now as if you didn't know that there is a subdirectory called test sub. Let us create a new file system called slash test. I have gone through this procedure. I allocated a new disk. I told you, right? A 1 GB disk. Using that's SDE. I created a new partition. I wrote the partition and then I changed the partition type to Linux 80. So you can see here FAT32 or FAT12, and then so LVM, Linux LVM. I altered it, and then I actually, you can see here it's created and it's type of partition called Linux LVM partition. I created a PV on the new disk that is allocated, and then I created a VG out of it, test VG, and then I created a LV out of it. So test VG again and test 00. This is the first logical volume of this particular volume group, test VG. So that's done, and you can see here this is the output of the LV display. So now I have a volume, which volume group, logical volume group. I can use it for mounting it under any file system. So I formatted the logical volume to XFS, and this is the LV path. So now what we do, we wanted to try mounting this particular file system under slash test. I'll show you in summary. So you see whatever I have told you, I have drafted here. So I just run through this. Say if disk-l, I saw this SDE was available because I newly allocated it, and I can show you that there is SDE newly allocated disk, and I am running through the fdisk command, and you can see here I altered the partition by first creating the first partition, and then you see here SDE1 is available, and then I am formatting the partition to become Linux LVM type, and you can see here SDE1 is now visible as Linux LVM. Next I do this PV display to see if you can see my SDE1. It didn't show, so I created the PV, then it starts showing up. You can see here is a new physical volume, and you can see here, and then I create a VG, and then I run VG display. So you should see test VG here. You can see here test data VG, test VG. Now I do a LV display. It will not show up because I didn't create any LV yet on the VG. So I create a LV, and this is the one, and that will show up here now. Yeah, this is the LV. Once this is done, I'm formatting this logical volume, and I found the path. Now is a story that I am going to mount it. I am mounting this under slash test. Now you can see slash test is a separate directory, and if I go inside this test directory, I don't see any content. The content inside the test directory where a subdirectory which is test sub, and then there is a file inside it which is test file. Both are gone now. So you should not that's kind of a situation we really don't want to, but we are in that situation now. What are the recovery options? You can probably try recovering it from your backup, but first option is to roll back what we did. Let's try that. Let's unmount the testfs. If I unmount it, as soon as I unmount it, you see here I unmounted it, then I went inside the test directory and I listed it. I could really see all the files that it was having before, even with the date and timestamp and the size of the file, everything matched, the content is matching. So to really retry if what we saw is true, I just mounted it again and I again lost the file content. So and again I unmounted it, then I can see the content of the file, content of the directory test. So that's what happens. So if I mount the new file system under slash test, I lose the content. If I unmount it, I'll see the previous content as it was. So you're not losing anything at all. So you don't need to be scared. All is well. So just roll back what happened. Okay. And this closes the lab, guys. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. It was a very quick video. And if you really like this video, give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and colleagues. And please feel free to share your valuable feedbacks in the comment section. I look forward to it. And I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.